What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy DankMatter here. Today I'm going to be doing a review on The Division. This game is really good. Dark Zone PvP, this PvE action, really heavily PvE based game. Kind of like Diablo. You ever play Diablo? That's really what the end game is, because you keep running stuff, hoping to get better gear. You got bounties, you got side missions, you got encounters that give you they give your wings supplies. They're called. The cool thing about this game is you really don't have to play alone. Some games like Destiny, for example, I played the whole game by myself. This game, if you play it by yourself, you can. I wouldn't recommend it because it's kind of boring, because it's really bland. It's kind of bland combat, but it's really fun. Every mission's gonna have some wave defense. Every mission's gonna have a boss at the end. These are the big ones, not the small ones. The big ones will have several sections of the three waves every time, and then after that, it's gonna have some good old-fashioned boss fight. The boss fight's vary in difficulty. The higher up you get, in my opinion, the easier it gets because you're more geared. Like the first mission was it was pretty easy for me. But then, there was one mission I remember. There was a sniper, and the snipers in this game will one-shot you, no matter what, because they're just too OP.
They're disabled.
One of my main problems with this game is that if you die, it will not. Say you're on the boss fight, you'll checkpoint, and then you'll get to the boss itself. And so you die on the boss after killing all the enemies. It's gonna respawn you at the boss, but the boss will be full health. It's gonna respawn you with all the enemies. You do the waves again. Other than that, it's pretty good. The PvE is the meat and potatoes of this game, because that's really what everything's based off, with a little spin. Missions just increased. So the endgame missions, the dailies, they give you the Phoenix credits, which are the endgame credits to buy high-end gear, which are exotics of the game. You get those from doing the daily missions. There's 3 of them every day. 2 give 15 credits each, so 30 there. And then the hardest one, which has all elite enemies, which is really hard, requires you to have 4 people with decent gear. You can get this from doing stuff like the Dark Zone, from grinding out the smaller missions, and doing stuff like that. You're gonna fight a lot of enemies that are yellow. These enemies have a bunch of armor.
Really, Nick?
But other than that, the missions are kind of a little hectic. My group likes to run with 2 healers and 2 damagers that run tech stuff, but that's just how you like to play. The healing in this game works a little weird, as you'll see here. This is a revive system when you're down. You can move around, but you can get shot by enemies and it'll just end your life. The cool thing about the revive system is that you can, if you die and place this little med kit pack that will it's a med station that heals you. If you place one of those down, it'll pick you up. It picks up fallen enemies that aren't all the way dead, but when you're all the way dead, it picks you up. So other than that, that's healing in this game. Techs like turrets, little seeker mines, which I call wraps because that's what they look like. And then I think it's
I got a purple drop.
It is a sticky bomb. The sticky bomb's cool, but not that high damaging. Good for stripping armor.
I legit wouldn't mind.
This game has really good stuff, for PvE. That's what you want to be playing. The PvP is nice, but it's really PvP based. PvP is not like Destiny's Crucible or Call of Duty's multiplayer. It's enemies with people. You can team up with more than 4 people in your party. 4 people is the max, and then you just go do stuff in the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is very hectic at times. I remember that I was in there, got pretty held down by some enemies, kept dying by them because they had mortars. There are 6 tiers of the Dark Zone, 6 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Which you want to go in there with a group if you're going to the 6, and you want to go in there without. You can go solo from maybe 4. From 1 to 4, I'd say that's about as high as you can go solo. And then you get into 5 and 6. That's really where you got to have at least 1 person with you. Having a full team is really helpful. Other than that, the Dark Zone PvP doesn't really change from PvE, except the fact that you can go rogue. The rogue system's kind of broken. I'm gonna say that because like you'll shoot someone and then you're instantly rogue, and there are people who just run in your fire. Like they'll be killing the boss and they're like, hey, I'm gonna run in front of this guy's fire, make him go rogue, kill him, get the experience, and it's just a broken system. I feel like Ubisoft should fix it, but they may. I feel like it should be fixed to where you have to kill the player for it to actually
Kill him.
make you rogue. When you're rogue, you get a timer that pings every like few seconds. I don't have a lot of experience going rogue because it's not really worth it. You don't get anything for it.
Right?
The rewards are better for staying not rogue. Now I'm gonna get into the story of this game. The story, you can tell, is very like you have to look into it kind of. There are a lot of story pieces you can find around the map. It's not a long story, but I don't think you really came for this game for story. It's a nice story. It's got a bunch of video clips that are really cool. There's stuff like these like it shows genetics and stuff. It's like if you're a nerd, I'm gonna say you're gonna like these cutscenes. It's pretty cool cutscenes. Some of them are pretty brutal. Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a cutscene with some cleaners and it involves a civilian. But you know you gotta watch for yourself. Missions like this where you have to work your way up and then you defend it, kinda not that cool.
Smith.
They're nice, but they're not nice. They're just yeah. Like it's fun, but you know you're going back and forth. Each mission will reward you with credits, which you can use to buy loot, and it'll reward you with a random weapon. These weapons normally aren't that great, not better than what you have, but what I'm running is very mediocre gear that you can buy and get from other vendors in the game. When you hit 30, you unlock a vendor that's called the Special Gear Vendor. It's in your tech wing. It's up at the top. The vendor sells gear for Phoenix credits, which you get from doing this, as I stated, but they're really grindy, but they can be worth it. You can build parts. The crafting in this game is at basic. Really basic because it's like 3 materials. There's not a lot of materials that you need to gather, which I like because then I'm not going around fetch quests and you know for some materials that I'm gonna use once. Like, but mods drop. You use them for your guns. They like, for example, I have a suppressor that increases my crit hit damage and increases the stability. You know, you'll expect it to drop the range. That's not what suppressors do in this game. Suppressors are kind of different. The threat detection in this game, like the sneak in it, I don't like it. It's not really there. I wish it was there, but it's not. There can be more to it, but other than that, this game has a really good cover. There's a really good. The AI is pretty brutal at times if you're playing on the elite difficulty for the missions, but if you're playing basic, really good AI. Yeah, I really like it. Now, the last part of this review, I'm going to talk about the weapons and how diverse they are. You're not really gonna notice the difference between the weapons, like of each class. Like, say you have a submachine gun. It's not like Destiny with the exotics for the high-end gear. Like, you're really just gonna want them for the perks. Like, there's a perk that eats armor faster, which is amazing because in the end-game content, everything has armor, and you know, you just want to start getting that armor out. The snipers in this game, I haven't personally got to use them because I've never really run across any use for them. They can be good, but they have low ammo, just like shotguns, which are really good for like peeking like a door that you know there's going to be close range. You can really avoid fire. The really good guns in this game, LMGs, heavy assault rifles, and SMGs. Those are the 3. SMGs are my favorite just because they have that crit damage. Like, you'll shoot a bunch of shots at another guy and get crits, which are the little orange bars numbers, and the crits will do so much damage. Well, you'll shoot like a headshot, get a red, and that's like you'll get a multiplier. If you get a crit and a multiplier, it's really a lot of damage. Good for taking out bosses. You want to aim for the head, get the crits. There are some things about this game though, like the end game gear isn't that great I've gotten so far because you know I've got one drop that was high end and the rest of it all crafted. or got from doing daily missions, which you get. Yeah, you get daily mission gear, like it's high end. You'll get a lot of the same thing. My friend's gotten 3 backpacks, and we've done 3 daily missions together. But other than that, this game is really good. It's what Destiny should have been. Not even gonna lie, this game is so good. The combat's great. The only thing I have a problem with is the grenades. Grenades in this game and Rogue. You'll see that grenades get thrown by enemies all the time. They're pretty crazy with these grenades. They don't stop. They just keep coming, and you gotta get rid of the grenaders. I know that's their special ability, but there's no limit, which I feel like there should be a kind of a limit. Like, we have a limit on grenades. I feel like AI should have a limit on grenades. But if I'm going to rate this game on a scale of 10, I'd rate this game 9.5. Just because of those little flaws with the AI and stuff, make it fixed. Content is a little lackluster at times. It's not like Destiny where I felt like I wanted to get on every day. Let me rephrase that. It's like Destiny where I wanted to get on every day, but it's where it's not necessary because it's just Phoenix credits, and if you have decent weapons, you can really get through the game. It's not a problem. But thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already for more future content.
Stay by.
Peace.